Good evening. I'm Coulter Wonkite. I'm already into the 420, damn it.
Celebrate Indigenous Awakening at Legacy 420's first outdoor music fest, August 11th on the Tyendinaga Mohawk Territory.
This one's about rock and roll and comic books and bubblegum.
Featuring Headstones, DJ Shub, Derek Miller, and more, with host MC.
What the
So
hell
what
is
are you
that?
doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science, literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Tyendinaga. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is not much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiva grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show.
Yo. Yeah, see, we couldn't hear it, so we couldn't sing along.
On Lifestyle Radio.
Lifestyle Radio.
You go for it, Darcy.
I just did. Lifestyle Radio.
Yeah, and you know what? Jim Melvin, who did that for us a couple of years ago, has also now done one for Coffee and Cannabis with Marijuana.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you to Jim. Jim loves doing stuff for us. It's great. Long-time listener and friend.
We like Jim.
You know what? Last year, being able to see them play live in front of my face was the whole reason for going. You know that, right?
Oh,
well,
yeah. I'm hoping. Yeah, no, I was part of the reason.
Yeah, sure.
Because you wanted to come and see me and, you know.
And hold your hand. Yeah.
See if the legend was true.
Yes. He snores really loud.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't snore at all.
Oh, was that Chrissy? Sorry, Chrissy. Have a good one, man.
Yep.
So, I'm here at the lounge. Sick.
Coughing up a lung.
I'm coughing on everybody.
I'm going to cough like that here in a few minutes.
So, I'm going to let Darcy and Marcel talk to you for a minute so I can clear my lungs here.
Go clear your lungs. You could have muted the mic before you did it, but...
I muted their mic, not yours.
Oh, okay. Hey, Darcy.
Yo.
I got a new toy.
What you get?
You mentioned.
I got a dipstick.
Haven't you had one of those for birth?
Chris, that's not very nice of Chrissy to call you a dipstick.
Well, you know,
no,
she calls
I
them a
got
lot
my
of
own
things.
dipstick. Have you ever seen a dipstick?
No.
No.
Can you send us a picture? Put a picture on the 420 show page?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the website for it.
Well, you're looking for that. I just wanted to make mention that this week we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. It seems Mr. Ford has been up to his shenanigans again. Yeah. So we've got a post here from CTV News titled Cannabis Landscape, a province-by-province breakdown. So we're going to spend some time going through this, I think. What do you think, guys?
Yep.
Now, since you're in Nova Scotia, let's go down to Nova Scotia first, because we got a whole shitload of talking to do about Ontario when we get there.
Cool. First of all, I just wanted to let our listeners know that Mr. Nice Howard Marks passed away.
Yes, I saw that this morning, and I have been trying to I've talked to him once or twice, and I've tried to get him on the show. Actually, remember, Marcel, when we had we had a bunch of drug traffickers from the 90s and the 80s on, Darcy. We had Robert Platshorn on from the Black Tuna Gang. They used to fly in from wherever they're getting their cargo and drop parcels off in the Keys, and they were so big and painted black that they just looked like black tuna floating in the water, so the Coast Guards didn't pay any mention to it, and they would just float up onto the reefs and onto the beaches and stuff like that. People would be there to pick them up and take them away. We had a couple of brothers. One's a pilot, one's a boatman, doing the same thing in the 90s, bringing stuff in from Jamaica and stuff like that. So I tried to get him on, and I tried to get the gentleman, Robert, I can't remember his last name, who his life story was the movie Midnight Express.
Oh.
He's doing a book tour. He's been doing book readings, so I'm hoping maybe one day, I like having conversations like I'm sure you do, Darcy, and both of you do.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, to sit here. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. Marcel will remember this because I think he was on that show. We had the two brothers, drug dealers, did time and everything, on the same show as we had the Pennsylvania senator on, who came to talk to us about one of his patients, a young lady that he was fighting for cannabis, Dalen Leach. Now, I believe that, I don't know if he actually became a congressman, but that's where he was going. I always found it interesting that we could get a sitting U.S. senator on a Canadian show, but Trudeau, an MP, nah.
Never.
No. And and I don't like the way things happen. We used to talk to I used to talk on Twitter. You've heard me say this, to the NCLC, okay, the Liquor Control Board in Nova Scotia, when you guys were going through your wait and trying to figure out what's going on, and they were talking up a storm with posts that we were posting and everything. The minute I asked them on the show, they stopped talking to me, and I don't get that, but they did.
Well, because their Facebook person who takes care of their Facebook page probably doesn't have the authorization to come on the show to begin with.
Well, then they should put it to the person that does, because we're legitimately wanting to have a conversation. We're not going to blast anybody. We know we know that there's. I mean, pretty much every LP follow the show, okay, and have listened to the show at one point or the other down the line. 12 years, I guarantee you, somebody from every place has listened to the show to find out what we're about. And I mean, I don't think that, but maybe once or twice, John Trammell, we've had any ill with any guests or anything like that. We've never attacked anybody. Ooh, no, that's not true.
No.
Remember Steve Bloom? Had Steve Bloom on the show. He was a past editor of High Times, one of the original crew. Had Jeffrey Peterson on the show as well. Major misogynist and works with the porn industry.
We've had Jeffrey on more than once.
Yes, many times.
Yeah.
But anyways, they got into let's put it this way. If they had been in the same room, there would have been fists swung. Okay?
We've had several guests on like that, though.
Yes. A few I wanted to punch in the nose. Russell.
There was one that I wasn't even on the show and I wanted to punch him in the nose.
Oh, you ran away pretty quick from that show.
No.
Actually, no, you didn't.
I wasn't
talking
scheduled
to
to
you.
be on that show.
No, and I was talking to you the whole show.
Yeah, and so was
Mr.
So was Lori.
Lori, yes.
Because I was just getting madder and madder the more I listened.
Yeah.
And then I was about to say I'm coming in, and that's when you guys kicked him off the show.
I've hung up on 2 guests in 12 years, and yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So
that's pretty good. We could take a lot if only 2 out of 12 years.
Well, you've been doing this. You're going on 5, dude.
Yeah, no. I sent you the link to this dipstick.
I saw that.
It's not the same as the one that I have, but it's similar. So basically, it's a nectar collector with a battery.
Yes, and I've tried one. I've tried one before, and they're fucking awesome. I mean, anything that has its own battery power and just allows you to use it. But this one,
the batteries are different. The battery's not a built-in battery.
No, it almost looks like a Shatterizer battery.
No. This one, you actually take the batteries out of it. They're 2 AAA batteries that are rechargeable, and it comes with a charging block to put the batteries in, and you charge it up. So you can go out and buy any AAA rechargeable batteries and have a spare set of batteries.
Nice.
It gives a really nice hit. Here, hang on, I'll turn it on. Turn it on, hold the button, sucker back, and this is Sativa Shatter by the strain of Memory Loss.
That's a good strain.
Gotta like it.
What brand is that, Marcel?
Og.
Oh, okay. They had memory loss, eh?
Yep, not anymore.
Did you get that from who I think you got that from?
Yep, not anymore. There's none of that.
Yeah, I know. I got the only sativa one that was in there.
This is a full sativa.
Yeah. Well, I got the Maui Wowie.
We got Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman's a hybrid, but it's more on the sativa side.
No, I grabbed Maui Wowie and Wookie and blueberry cake sauce. And what was the other one? There's another one there too.
Fuck, that's nice. And I didn't even cough on it once. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
I'm on the air. What are you doing here? Say hi to the guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. We thought you were talking to a girl.
No, that's Matt. I wanted to call Matt so he can tell us about his new toy that's available in the States now.
What new toys Matt got?
Not available yet.
It's not? Well, then we'll wait for it. Yeah, we'll wait for it. Okay. But it's very interesting.
I'm open to her demoing.
Yes.
Do you want to give him a preview?
Not today.
Okay.
Do you want to send me one to try?
Coming soon.
You'll get one to try eventually.
To our mailbox, Marcel.
Yeah.
It's coming soon to our mailbox.
Coming soon to your mailbox. Yeah.
Coming soon to a dispensary in the U.S.
In the U.S. It's not something that's going to be available here in Canada, unfortunately, for a little while, which really sucks. But
why not?
It will be once legalization changes around extracts.
That's October, right?
Yeah, we have.
That's what
we have.
In October, but
we have extracts now.
It might be delayed a month or two.
Yeah.
You could just appeal to the medical market.
Yeah, medical market's got lots of extracts.
So what else is new, Matthew? You haven't.
Just on the air?
Yeah, we're on the air. Yeah. You haven't been on the show in a while, and even Paul has just come in.
Hello, Paula.
Matthew says hello, Paula. So, Matt.
Yes.
So I will let you go, and you will call me when you can tell me more about this stuff on the air.
100%.
All right, buddy.
We're probably 2 to 4 weeks away from a big announcement.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Are you home this weekend?
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you
All right.
later.
Take care. Bye.
So that was my buddy. That was kind of anticlimactic. I'm sorry. Well, he posted a big post about it, and then I guess that they're not ready for it. But that's okay. I will respect the sanctity of the friendship knowledge. But it's going to be really cool. I'll tell you that much. Okay? Where'd you guys go?
We're here.
I'm right here looking at a picture of pot growing in a wheelbarrow.
That's not the first picture I've seen. So it says legal cannabis 50% more expensive than black market. Statistics Canada says black market cannabis continues to undercut Canada's legal market by a wide margin. You're fucking telling me. According to the latest crowdfunding price data released by Stats Canada.
Yeah, it's time to open up a mail order dispensary.
You think so?
Yeah. So
you think they're going to allow that?
They can't stop the ones that are out there now. Then those ones are making a fortune.
Yep, they sure are.
I have my friends coming to see me and showing me ounces that they get for like $100.
Yep, they got $99 ounces. A friend of mine, I got to try some stuff from cheapbuds.ca the other day. I got to try their, what was it again? It was a Kush. Island Pink Kush. So Island Skunk and Pink Kush.
Have you got dispensaries open there?
Oh, yeah.
I think there's still 5.
It's a fucking war zone here right now. I tell you that. As far as dispensary goes, it is a frickin' war zone in a city that once had 80. That's
because your premier's an alcoholic. He's just drunk.
I don't know what the real reason is, but this is ridiculous.
Because I can sit in Nova Scotia and I look at this. It comes out with this budget that they're going to get rid of the deficit. And I'm thinking, how in the hell are you going to do it? Till I start to realize that he's going to allow public drinking everywhere.
Yep. He's going to allow public drinking, parks, beaches, movies.
Right.
Drive-ins.
That's going to be an increased revenue. And
But we can't go to the movies and smoke.
No, but the increased revenue is going to be that the taxes from the alcohol sales as well as the fines for people drinking and driving.
No, the increased revenue that's going to clear everything up is fucking cannabis. And if they treated it that way, it would do just that.
We know that, but they don't know that.
They ain't consulting anybody, but they're professionals. And what the fuck do they know?
Right. All they have to do is go in and lower their prices to get rid of the black market.
$15 down the road here at the OCS store.
But the quality's not
per
there.
gram?
Per gram. What's it working out to per gram at the legal store now? Here, I think it was like $15 an hour a gram. Yep, it's crazy. So by the time you pay,
I'll say you 3 for 1.
By the time you pay for that $15 a gram, and then your tax,
I won't charge you tax.
I'm all out. I could use some more. Everybody loved. I still have some of your hash left, actually.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure you do.
I forget how many grams they made off that batch. That was 75 grams.
Have you looked at what they're saying here? It says what's happening in Nova Scotia. They have 12 liquor stores.
I don't agree with a lot of it.
Surprisingly low interest in online purchases. Nova Scotians also behind 2 attempts to change federal rules around the drug, with one woman calling on Health Canada to permit the importation of CBD products.
Yeah. But there's already CBD products available in Canada.
We don't need to import CBD. We have lots of CBD here.
I just smoked some.
If they would hurry the hell up and license companies that have product or have access to product,
then
there wouldn't be this issue.
It says here.
The other one is planning a constitutional challenge.
Yes.
Over the new impaired driving by drug laws, and that is probably the best thing to happen so far.
There's a few of them.
Because for one, I don't know if she's medically licensed, but she's a person with MS. She used cannabis the day before. She got stopped at one of the checkpoints, failed the breathalyzer thing.
And she has MS.
And she has MS.
Yes.
And so they impounded her car and transported her to the station, locked her in a cell, and then they did the drug recognition expert come out and said, "You're not impaired." Meanwhile, she still has to pay to get her car out of impoundment. She lost 4 days of work.
Yep.
She's pretty pissed off because even though she was found not impaired, they still charged her driving under the influence and impound her vehicle.
Yeah, that scares me. Impounding vehicles, impounding buildings.
Yeah.
You know, what is this? Fucking Britain in the fucking 50s? You know?
Well, if it keeps up, the people will revolt. It's coming more and more every day.
Before I forget, I want to acknowledge the passing of... Oh, we already talked about that, Mr. Nice, right? Did we already mention that on the air, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
We did. Okay. And Julian Assange was finally arrested in Hungary, I think.
No, in England.
Okay, bye-bye. What was that?
In England.
In England. He was
living in the
Hungarian embassy or something like that.
No, the Ecuador.
Was it Ecuador? That's right.
Embassy.
Yeah.
And he ended up pissing off the president of Ecuador. So
yes,
the president of Ecuador said, "Yeah, your Secret Service can come in and have him."
Yeah, but Britain violated him as well, and violated his parole.
What parole? No, what parole?
No, there was some charges that they violated him, and that's another reason why they allowed it to happen. I read the article. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he was violated in some way.
I don't know. It's just if okay. I mean, all right. If you're a hacker and you do a big hack like he did on the U.S. military, and you release all of those secrets, and then you go seek asylum from a non-extradition country like Ecuador, then the smart thing to do is don't fucking hack the Ecuadorian government.
Duck.
Right? Because they're the ones that are letting you stay at their fucking embassy. Don't hack them to see what they're fucking hiding, because they were being nice enough to let you hide.
That's right.
Bonehead.
Well, and he looked so much older. He had a big David Letterman beard.
Yeah,
he looked like David Letterman. Did you see the picture?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I said, "Is that Letterman?"
And I honestly, if I'd seen him like that, I'd never think that it was Assange.
Exactly.
Until he talked.
Exactly.
I'd know it as soon as he talked. But
now let me finish this. What I was talking about here with about how much it's been sold in Nova Scotia, because you're going to find this very interesting. I know I will, because supposedly you have the highest per capita. Correct?
Yeah. But it says that
Nova Scotians were big consumers of cannabis post legalization, with ArcView reporting that the province made up to 4.6%. Sorry, I read that wrong. 4.6% of the Canadian market, an estimated of 12.8 million people. That has gone down.
No, 12.8 million was spent on non-prescription cannabis in the province.
Sorry.
So that's.
But it has gone down. No, it has gone down.
Oh, right? Yeah, because people don't want to pay those prices for that crap. They can get better down the road from their buddy.
Yep.
Who's using it? Everybody. And I'll say everybody. It says, well, not everybody, but a high proportion of people than any other province. In total, 21.7% of Nova Scotians used marijuana in 2018 after cannabis legalization. That number was 21.7 before legalization, and it's probably gone up to another 40% that they'll admit it.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
They're not counting what people are using on the black market, and we have a thriving black market.
Yeah.
Because we've gone so long without dispensaries.
Do you have stores open now? Legal stores open?
Liquor stores. You literally have to go in through a liquor store to get into the cannabis store.
You didn't know that? Nova Scotia? They can only deal with the Nova Scotia Liquor Control Board. That's who controls cannabis as well.
There's one standalone store for cannabis. All of the rest are in the existing liquor stores.
The AGO, which controls the Liquor Control Board, controls everything here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, that won't work. Now, is there any issues? Have there been any issues with it being in liquor stores? People acting up, people acting a fool?
No.
Stoners looking for booze,
I've never seen a lineup.
Excuse me a minute.
I've never seen any lineup at the liquor store here for cannabis at all.
No, I can't say. I can't say I've seen a lineup either myself.
Other than the first day when you were in Truro.
Yeah, well, that was just. I think that was more of a novelty thing.
But even Amherst never had a lineup on the first day of opening. I went there opening night. There was no lineup.
There were pictures of lineups.
Not in ours, because we've never had a dispensary. Everybody here where I live pretty much grows their own. I mean, they create their own strains up in this part of the province. So
have they continued shutting dispensaries down, though, as forceful as they were? Since Heidi, I mean.
Oh, they've still gone in and raided a few since Heidi, but I think a lot started closing on their own before they got raided.
Yeah,
like some places, all of their employees wouldn't come back to work after legalization.
Yeah,
so they kind of had no choice but to close because they couldn't stay open without employees.
Yeah. Wow.
But they didn't have a big sweep right after legalization, which everybody thought they were going to do.
No, because they still have to go through the same procedure that they did before legalization, right? Do their investigation, retain a warrant, and go from there.
How long does it take to get a warrant? 3 days, something like that.
No, 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
But their investigation on you is something like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, in most cases. What they'll do is somebody will call and put a complaint in about the dispensary, so the police will investigate. One of the things they'll do is they'll send an undercover officer to go and try and buy some cannabis.
Wow.
And if they can buy cannabis, then anybody can buy cannabis.
Well, you heard about what happened in Pickering, I'm sure. It was basically a market was raided, and the police came in, and the minute the officers came in, undercover guys revealed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave each vendor a ticket 3 times, 3 different tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And they took everything.
What were the tickets they gave them?
For trafficking, distribution, the normal.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. Usually, I think one of them was selling illegal weed, that kind of thing. I don't exactly know. I know that this happened. This I know. Okay,
yeah.
But the charges that were given is really between the people and the police. But it wasn't a good situation.
No.
And a lot of people it scared a lot of people.
It's a good thing that they were all potheads, because the cops would have gotten the shit kicked out of them. See? Cannabis. You don't hurt nobody.
Yeah. And it was Durham police too, and they can be sticklers too. So
yeah.
They're a little punchy. Right?
Yeah, nice.
So
we need more cops like that.
How about we take a break and listen to a song?
Sure. It's been half an hour.
I know. And then we'll be back. This is the 420 radio show. We're broadcasting live from Ganjahnistas, 242 King Street East in Hamilton, Ontario. And we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time. 420 Radio? Ooh.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science. Literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Ganjahnistas. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
Hey, yo, Rhythm Wise. Check out Red My Eyes. Oh, yeah. I want big bump off the ganja, but in the rhythm of the bass I move, yeah. But all the people say Hakuna Matata, but now worry ganja so Colombia. I want big bump off the ganja, but in the rhythm of the bass I move, yeah. But all the people say Hakuna Matata, but now worry ganja so Colombia. Oh, nice Saturday morning, got there if a sunshine a storming. Oh, the sun so me pass all the test with one big pump puff of ganja, and the rhythm of the bass I move, yeah. And all the people say Hakuna Matata. Now worry ganja smoke alone, yeah. One big pump puff of ganja, and the rhythm of the bass I move, yeah. And all the people say Hakuna Matata. But now worry ganja smoke alone, yeah. Oh, I remember when we used to trim the herb to get dollar and gather enough cash from me finger. Oh, it's better than cash from the grower. When you burn it up, you walk a little slower. So make sure you are go pass it to the dealer. I saw him not care, him happy how him feel. When the ganja tune play, the man say, with a clean heart, we never stress. Check out me story, so me pass all the tests with a clean heart, we never stress. Check out me story, so me pass all the tests with one big pump puff of ganja, and the rhythm at the bass I move, yeah. But all the people say Hakuna Matata, but now worry ganja smoke alone, yeah. One big pump puff of ganja, and the rhythm at the bass I move, yeah. But all the people say Hakuna Matata, but now worry ganja smoke alone, yeah. I bring you listen, overstand me, man. We're not so sure about the legalization. From when we was a youth, me pay about $10 and still today me pay the same and no inflation. And if the government up on the taxation, then pack it up like cigarette contamination. I mean no one knows again I didn't me sense. No chemicals or when me bomb me blueberry and with one big pump puff of ganja. In the rhythm of the bass I move, yeah. All the people say Hakuna Matata, but now worry ganja smoke alone, yeah. One big pump puff of ganja, in the rhythm of the bass I move, yeah. And all the people say Hakuna Matata, but now worry ganja smoke alone, yeah. Hey, you read them wise, check or read my eyes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to. This is the 420 Radio Show. We are back.
We were talking about jam.
Jam?
Medicated blackberry jam. I just pulled a jar out of the cupboard the other night.
Oh, sounds yummy.
It is yummy. It's awesome, too.
My birthday's coming up, Marcel, this week.
Oh, this week?
Yeah, just saying.
When's your birthday?
On Thursday, and I got a fucking write. Sorry. I love to go write a pesticide exam on my birthday.
Oh, bonus.
No, I don't, but I got to do it. So it's got to be done.
Finally, you're going for your clearance, are you?
My pesticide exam. So here back in January, we all writ our pesticide exams so we can use pesticides. Not that we're going to use them. That we're
trained in the use.
In the use of them, because Health Canada requires you have to be trained in the use.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I went and wrote my core exam and then my specialized greenhouse exam because that's the closest one they have for indoor. And I passed
like WMIS for growers.
Yeah, I passed one exam, but I didn't pass the other one. I failed it by a half a point.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so I gotta go back and write it, which is all right. It was just the math work, because they give you half points for if you show your work but you get the answer wrong, or if you don't show your work and just write the answer. So, yeah.
Well, sounds like they're trying to help, and you fucked up.
But the funny thing is you're allowed to have all these graphs and all this stuff on the walls in your grow room to teach, to show you how to mix this stuff. But in the exam, you can't have that piece of paper beside you to help you as a trainer.
It's kind of like a calculator.
Yeah. You're not allowed to use it.
Wow. Start studying, buddy.
Oh, I've been studying. I looked at a little bit of it today at work, and I'll keep peeking at it. It's not hard. It's just You know, Marcel gave me a good piece of advice the last time when I read it. Don't think of it as a pesticide. Think of it as something different that you're used to using or mixing all the time.
Like a fertilizer.
Like a fertilizer, right? So that's what I think of it as. I think of it as fertilizer, and everything goes great.
Yeah, don't overthink it.
That's the thing. You just don't overthink it.
Most of it's common sense on those exams.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. I'm coming to see you on Monday.
Me?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, not you. I'm going to go see your bosses on Monday.
Oh. Do you got a meeting that I'm going to be around?
I don't know. It's right after your morning meeting on Monday.
It's without you.
Yeah, I know.
It might just be the three of us.
You're not allowed to come.
That's all right. I got more important things to do.
So, shall we go back to this stuff that we were looking at?
Sure.
What were we looking at?
We were looking at by province.
Yeah. Alberta had a massive start. They sold 24.5 million worth, and they were responsible for 30% of all legal sales in Canada over that period.
Well, they were one of the first ones that opened too, right?
Right. They opened up dispensaries. Yeah. The problem is because they opened up private dispensaries, they had run out of cannabis very, very quickly. So they say that their shortage, their cannabis shortages could last for more than a year.
Well, you know that I think it's Oregon has a 7-year supply, and they're not allowed to send any here.
No.
Yeah. Yep. So.
No, we can't import from the U.S. because the U.S. But we could import it from Colombia or Jamaica.
Yes. Have they set it up so that you can fly to Jamaica from Canada with your meds yet?
Not yet.
Heard anything? No. I hear they're going to, though, or they're going to try anyway.
They're working on it. They're pushing for it.
Yes. Well, it makes sense too because so here it is. Here, Oregon has a 7-year pot supply, but Canada can't have any.
Yeah.
So there's a video here. Let's listen. Shall we? Oh, no, you won't hear it. Damn it.
Al?
Yeah.
Canada's getting lots of that pot supply from Oregon.
Are they?
It's
they always have.
Of course they are. It's coming across in backpacks, my friend.
It's the black market. Like I say, the black market. What did I see? Canada did something like $200 and some million in legal pot sales, and the black market in the same period of time has done $2.5 billion.
Yeah, it kind of tells you something.
Yeah,
tells you who's doing it right and who's doing it wrong.
Hey, man, the black market's had 80 years to perfect it.
Well, this is the thing. They don't realize that the people that ran this industry for the last umpteen years are now not even allowed to have anything to do with this market, and you got big Bay Street bankers and investors getting involved in this, and they have no sweet clue what they're getting involved in. They just see that there's a dollar to be made.
Yes, like most of the lottery winners were just businessmen who not necessarily.
We need more pot people in this industry, Al. And what I mean by
but these guys aren't even pot people. They saw a buck, and they figured I could do that. Is that what's happened there?
The guy at the honey pot. He was on the news. He said he has no idea about this industry, but it was an investment opportunity.
And
so why not?
Had a lot of complaints there too about prices.
Well, they're all going to complain about prices because the guy down the street can sell it to them a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yep. What can you do?
The government sucks at math.
Smoke it.
The government sucks at math and comes out and suggests a price point based on what licensed producers tell them who have no experience growing or selling cannabis.
No, what they did is they went and found the first person on the street that knew how to grow a little bit of pot and said, "Oh, you could be our grower." And then you can train the scientists how to do this.
Yeah.
With no proper training, it's
But yet
sad.
they're making you guys do pesticide quizzes.
Everybody has to.
Everybody does.
Even them guys did. Even them guys had to do it.
Okay.
The difference is them guys are the difference with us and them is I find them guys they went to school for 25 years and learned everything they can about plants and life and microbiology and all this stuff, and I learned everything from a hands-on experience.
Yeah, there's a difference between book smart and practical smart.
I'm cannabis smart.
Yeah, it's kind of like the licensed producer that decided to bring in the tree farmer to grow their pot.
Yeah.
Because, he's been growing trees for years and years and years, and he does a great job. And he gets hired, and the entire crop dies. And the reason being is because they weren't fucking trees.
Yeah.
If there were trees, they'd be fine.
An evergreen tree that most of these tree farmers are used to growing don't grow, that use totally different nutrients and totally different spectrum of everything than a cannabis plant.
Yeah. And they're also meant to grow for 40 friggin' years.
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah. It's just, it makes you shake your head is what it does, Marcel.
No, it just makes me think that the country needs
better education.
A better education, but a new approach to what they're getting for product from a licensed producer.
But they can't do anything.
There's going to be my pop quiz. I'm going to make a pop quiz on Facebook. See what kind of responses I get.
Oh, boy.
This should be fun. Maybe I'll put it in a few groups just to really kick up a stink.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Because, I'm a nice fucking guy.
You are a nice guy.
I know. I don't try not to let that out, though.
So did you guys happen to see this article that says miracle teenager survives on his own for 6 hours without Wi-Fi?
Yeah, how stupid is that? But with some of the kids, we lost our power over the winter, and I thought our kid was going to go nuts because she, couldn't talk to anybody, couldn't charge her phone.
Couldn't watch a movie, nothing.
No Wi-Fi, nothing.
Poor Lily.
Meanwhile, I'm loving it because I'm catching up on my reading. I need the power to go out more often. All right, pop quiz.
Are we done talking about provinces now? Or?
No, do you want to talk about more provinces while I type?
I want you to talk more about Ontario and what's going on up there, Al.
Ontario. A lot.
The whole thing on Ontario is actually pretty cool. I'll read you the whole thing. What's happening?
You go ahead.
The Ontario government rethought its approach to cannabis sales a few months before the October 17th, 2008 legalization date, deciding to use private retail operators instead of the LCBO liquor agency. Thank you, Mr. Ford. As a result, no stores opened in the province until April 1st, and large cities including Windsor and Kitchener remained without any physical retail cannabis presence. Even then, 12 of the operators granted licenses were fined for not being able to open on time. 77 of the province's 414 municipalities have decreed that no cannabis stores will be allowed to operate within their borders. How many of those 12 how many of those 77 municipalities are large municipality with a big center in it? Any of them?
I would assume so, yes. I would assume so.
How much has been sold? almost $22 million worth of non-prescription cannabis by the end of 2018, according to ArcView. With medicinal marijuana factored in, Ontario accounts for 35.7% of the total national figure, despite its lack of physical stores. But that's when you factor in medical, which is done through the mail. Who's using it? StatsCan found that 15.4% of Ontarians used cannabis in the last quarter of 2018, exactly in line with the national average. Y'all need to catch up, Nova Scotia, okay? I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. What does it cost? One of the priciest provinces for marijuana prior to last October, Ontario saw a relatively small post-legalization bump of 8.5%, moving it closer to the middle of the pack. The average cost now sits at $8.05 per gram, 1 cent above the national average. Future forecast. ArcView's forecast calls for Ontario's share of the national cannabis pie to rise to 39% by 2014, making it a $1.8 billion market.
Wow.
So if they can get to a $1.8 billion market by 2024, then I'll project that the black market will be somewhere around 4 to 5 billion.
That's B with a B.
B.
Not with an M. A B.
Yep. That's a B. Yep. But it's going to be a matter of what comes out this October. Right?
Well, you got companies right now like Afria jumping on and buying cosmetic companies.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to be allowed to have in the form of other products. Put other products as edibles, topicals, that type of thing.
The stock market's just going wangy.
Yeah, see, I don't like the stock market because that's not real money.
It's wangy.
Yeah. I said right from day one that I would never invest into a publicly traded cannabis company because it's not a good for a long-term investment. Not if they can't figure out how to get rid of the black.
Thanks for telling me now.
No, I told you that a long time ago. You just don't fucking listen. Only because even other countries have seen massive drops in valuation because competing with the black market means there's not as much pie.
Yeah.
And if you can't get rid of the black market, because this legalization definitely didn't, if anything, it made the black market stronger.
HuffPost says that they've lost, the Ontario government has lost $25 million worth of funds, right? Like, because things aren't going as smoothly. They're calling it mismanagement. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of what we've been seeing in the news the last couple of days has been right from the Ontario budget. So what are we talking about now?
Darcy's going to do his grow talk while I type.
Okay, Darcy, you go ahead.
Darcy.
I think Darcy rolled away.
No, I'm here. This phone is just driving me crazy.
All right, do your thing here.
Do my thing? I'll do my thing, I guess. What do you want me to talk about tonight? Give me something now. Or not. Okay, I guess I'll just sit and talk about...
I'm here.
Well, hey, it's spring. How about choosing a good location?
And how about bug control?
Yeah, you'd be getting into that again now.
Yep. Mites and shit be coming along soon, right?
Well, not just that. You're got all these people starting their plants indoors, so knowing what to stay away from for soils and stuff, I guess, is a good thing to talk about too.
Well, yeah, and I'd also like to suggest to people, don't use Miracle Grow to grow your cannabis. Don't use it for anything.
Yeah. See?
See,
you're catching on now.
Yeah.
Miracle Grow is not good. Sorry, Bear Monsanto.
I apologize to Bayer and Monsanto, but
that's okay. They make money off me anyways from my metformin. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So no, making sure you don't buy the wrong stuff, because I mean, it can really you can suffer in the end, man. You really can. When you go to put all them lovely little plants outside and you notice that you got an infestation and you don't know where it came from because no one's been in your room. You're the only one in there. You haven't been around anyone else's crop, so you're like, scratching your head because you started everything from seed. So the bug isn't hiding inside of the seed, so where did it come from? Well, the first thing I would rule out is my soil or my whatever I'm using as a media. That's why I like to use. You can buy them. They're little compressed. It's called Hydropeat. That's the name of the product. It's called Hydropeat. It's compressed cocoa. It's I don't want to give people the wrong information, but it's 70% cocoa and 30% peat, or 30% peat and 70% cocoa. Anyways, it's a really good product. I like it. It's almost as a substitute for rock wool. So you can use it instead of rock wool, because rock wool will not break down in the environment. They are recycling. There is places that recycle it. I don't think there's any in Canada as per se. I know there's a bunch over in Germany and over in Europe, but I don't think you really want to mail your rock wool all the way over there. So that's why I tend not to use rock wool as much. It's a wonderful product. It just don't break down in the environment. So once it's made, it's made. It ain't going anywhere. And it takes so long to break down. So that's why I try to use products that are more friendly to the environment per se. But every person grows differently, so you can use what you would like. That's just my preference anyways. So yeah, what else? What else here? We can go with a good starter nutrient to use for beginners and starting out for your plants too is they have a product. If you want to go organic, they do have a product out there. General Hydroponics has it. I usually don't buy a lot of their products because they are owned by Bayer Monsanto. They just got bought out. General Hydroponics did, so I'm assuming their General Organics line is being made by them guys too. It is organic, so that is a good thing. But it works really, really well as an indoor fertilizer or an outdoor fertilizer. Or you can do what I do and make your own teas for outdoors. That's what I do. I make my own teas. I use back guano and sea kelp and glacial rock dust and alfalfa meal, and I make myself a tea out of that and let it steep. I put an air stone in it for what you would have in like a fish tank to aerate the water, because what that does is
a lot of people that use fish tank equipment.
Yeah, well, when you aerate your water like that, it releases more oxygen into it, which then does something to the microlife underneath there. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know everything that goes on. But
it does work.
But one thing I don't know that's going on underneath there is that there's lots of life being created, and that's what you want. You want bacteria in your soil or your media outdoors.
Well, there's good bacteria and bad bacteria, right?
Oh, of course there is. It's just like anything, right? Like feeding. They have a product called Dr. Mary Jane. It's a plant probiotic. So just like your body, plants use probiotics too, right?
And so do we.
Yeah, so do we. So just like I say, just like humans, plants use probiotics too. So they uptake them. It helps do does a whole bunch of things underneath the soil.
Are there bad probiotics as well?
I don't want to say there's bad probiotics. I don't want to say that everyone is good, And I'm not saying go out and start feeding your plants yogurt either to try to get probiotic into it, because I don't think that's going to work.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think it is. Marcel, do you want to correct me on that?
What was the question?
Say he wasn't even paying attention. That's good.
I told you I was fucking typing. I'm doing my pop quiz.
Oh.
What was the question?
Al asked about probiotics, and I said, yes, there's a product out there called Dr. Mary Jane. That's a probiotic. And then he asked, is there any bad probiotics? And I said, I don't think so. And I said, but don't run out and feed your plants yogurt, because I don't think that's going to be a way for you to uptake probiotic into your plants.
No.
Do plants need things like omega-3 and stuff like that?
No, the plants produce omega-3 and stuff like that.
So you learn something every day.
But molasses will, while not being really a probiotic, will act like a probiotic because it's a chelation. So molasses goes into the soil and breaks the soil down into a much more manageable nutrient for the root system to uptake.
Okay.
All right. So this is why almost all of the fertilizer mixes that you have out there for cannabis, all of them will have molasses in some form or another.
Okay. I've heard that.
Yeah. So it's cheaper. You go out and you just buy blackstrap molasses and mix it with some water, and about 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon is a fine mix.
And that helps get your prep your soil.
Well, it helps you. It's not prepping your soil. What it does is it goes in and breaks the soil down.
Okay.
It's basically putting sugars and stuff into the soil for the bacteria to eat, and by doing that, they break down the soils so that the roots have a better uptake of nutrients.
Okay.
It's science, bitch.
Science.
Yeah.
Science.
Marcel will explain you the science.
Yeah. But you can get other products like
science?
the guys that we had on. Soil Balance Pro.
Awesome
we had them
product.
on a couple of years ago.
You should bring them back on.
Yeah, it's an amazing product.
Their product is amazing. I will give them that.
That's the stuff that you tried last year, is it?
Yeah, the powder.
Well, we should get them back on.
Yeah. But it's basically nothing but a bloom of little bugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That go in and
eat everything.
Make your roots super healthy.
They're like little microorganisms.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's 62 different strains of mycorrhizal bacteria.
And now, are those made?
Each gram is roughly something like 10 trillion of them.
Are they made or is it natural?
It's natural.
Okay.
It's all natural.
Okay.
It's all natural.
Comes out of the U.S. It's a pricey product, but when you look at the price and then you look at how much little you actually need of it, it's actually very good value for the money.
Well, that's just it, Marcel. That's why I like it, because a gram goes a long way.
CBD?
Right? You know, you mix 0.1 of a gram, 0.1 of a gram per gallon.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 gram will do 10 gallons of water.
Yeah.
And 1 gram is less than a teaspoon.
Wow. They're really vicious, aren't they? Well, not vicious, but aggressive.
Who?
Those microorganisms and that.
But it's not it's nature.
I know. I realize that. But when you think of it,
what it is they're already in the soil.
Yes.
But they're already in the soil and everything that's growing outside nature. And what these guys
adding more though.
Well, they found a way to concentrate them.
That's what I mean.
For being specific, in deep water culture, the stuff is amazing. or a hydroponic system, because after a while feeding them, your roots start to get that brownish color. When you use this stuff, your roots stay white all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because they're not getting that scale on the outside of them. They're just sucking up all the nutrients they can get. And
I get you.
They get a 600% increase in the terpene levels on your plants.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a massive how much the smell changes using this stuff.
Oh, yes, big time. I put it on 2 plants, and I didn't put it on the other 2 plants, and I know 2 plants isn't really a true test, but it was enough for me to get a sense of what I was working with.
There's a reason why they sang "Ooh, ooh, that smell," you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know. Go ahead, Darcy. You kind of got cut off there.
I said I love their product. Hell, I fucking love their product. It should be more in Canada, but you'll never see it in an LP setting because it's classified as an additive, and Health Canada does not allow you to add any additives. The same reason why the
States.
Yes, states have different rules than us.
Well, I know
way different regulations.
Wow.
Because you got to remember too.
Wait a minute, we all got to get on this same fucking road here.
Bovia, you're going to see Bovia lobbying the government here soon, and mark my words on this one. You're going to see them lobby the government for the fact that they're not allowed. You're not allowed to put a Bovia pack into a package of cannabis and sell it to any private consumer.
Why?
Because it's an additive.
It makes it too nice?
Nope, it's classified as an additive.
Well,
you're adding something to the cannabis.
But if I did that in my home, who would care?
They don't care if you do it in your home. But see, Bovia, what's gonna save the cannabis market as far as packaging goes? It's gonna be cans, and it's gonna be nitrogen-filled cans. Huh. But the next best thing you're going to see, Al, is you're going to see Bovia packs, man. Bovia packs, they work.
I know. We have them here.
But don't throw them right in with your cannabis. They sell packages that stick to the tops of your jars. This little cardboard thing that you slide your Bovia pack in. There's a reason.
You want it to be touching?
No. There's independent studies. There is
changes the smell?
No, it leaches. There's independent studies that it leaches into your product.
Oh.
I've never seen any of these independent studies. I'm going to throw that right out there right now. I was told about these independent studies, and I was told from a very reliable source.
I don't like that.
No. That's why I use them, but I take them to the top of my jars so they don't touch my product. And they work amazing.
Oh, somebody that I know has told me that they use those and it changed the whole consistency and the smell and the taste and everything. So that makes sense, the leaching.
Yeah, well, yes, it would change the consistency for the fella that's not used to having. If he's always used to dry pot, and then all of a sudden he throws a Bovia pack into his product. And then now it's not dry, it's to the proper moisture, there's going to be a totally different taste.
Yeah.
Correct me here if I'm wrong, Marcel. And he's
changing the taste?
Yeah, like if you take super dry pot and then put something in it to moisten it down, to put the proper humidity back into it.
Distilled water.
Okay, well, whatever. You're going to notice a difference in flavor.
Not with distilled water.
No.
With distilled water, you'll have the same flavor that you had from the pot. But people will put in a slice of orange or a slice of apple. That will change the taste of the pot because or bread.
I like that. Bread. It's natural flavoring.
But with bread, you're getting that yeast
Yeah,
flavor.
I know. I don't like the bread thing. I've tried that as well.
But seriously, what I do is I take a piece of paper towel and I tape it to the lid of the jar, and I spray it with distilled water so it's damp, and then I put it on the jar. And then let it basically sweat back into the plant. It'll absorb all the moisture within a few hours if you keep it warm enough. And then shake it up every once in a while. Basically look at recuring it if you have to, if you put too much moisture in. Check about every 4 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
I've been rehydrating pot for, probably 30 or 40 years. Vaporizers work better with about around a 60% moisture point.
Yeah, not too dry, but not too wet.
Right. You don't want it so wet that you can't light a joint.
You got that sweet spot there, Marcel.
Yeah, which is around 60% humidity, which those Bovita packs try to provide or keep you at that 60%.
You get you got a 50. There's a couple different humidities with them because they use them for all sorts of different things. They use them for cigars. They use them for hydrating other stuff. Like when you go on their website, you look at it all. There's like 20 different things that you can use them for.
People always
There's an idea,
in the
Al.
middle of a show.
There's an idea. Try to get Bovia on.
Sure.
No, seriously, try to get them on. Try to get them on. I really like to speak to them about the leaching of this product because I looked at what the ingredients in this product is, and it's like 98% distilled water.
Do they put any outside stuff in?
It's I'm quote me here. I'm gonna check right now.
There, I put my pop quiz up.
Oh,
I got about another 5 minutes, guys.
Okay.
For what?
I'm ready to go home and go to bed. I feel like shit.
Okay. Sniffles.
2 seconds here, Alan. I got something for you. How it works. Safety data sheet. Okay, so Bovia sells 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different humidities. 32, 49, 58, 62, 65, 67, 69, 72, 75, and 84. The most common are the 62 for cannabis. Okay.
Because it's for your vaporizer. And
your
joints.
Your products are 20 to 50% reverse osmosis water. Potassium citrate monohydrate, whatever the heck that stuff is, Marcel. It's 50 to 90%.
That's the hydrate.
And Zion gum, Marcel.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
0 to 2%. When you read their safety data sheet, there's no risk of fire. There's no risk of handling. Toxicology reports. None listed for the potassium citrate, and it's not a carcinogenic. And ecological information, there is none. Disposal, just dispose in your regular household garbage. What else is here? What happens if you eat it? Where's that one at? That's the one I want to find because that's the important one. This product is a water-soluble comprised of chloride, sodium chloride, Zion gum. So any toxic effects of these salts are diluted. So that means that it's not poisonous if you eat one. Would it not, Marcel?
Pardon?
I said, would that statement mean if someone was to accidentally eat one, say a kid,
like a Tide Pod,
mm-hmm.
that it's not going to hurt them because it says this product is water soluble, comprised of chloride, sodium chloride, and Zion gum. So any toxic effects of these salts is diluted.
What is in them? Are they
only
little,
if it's
little?
Only if you add lots of water to it.
Are they little circle things, like little pebbles?
No.
No, you're thinking of desiccant.
Okay.
Yeah, no. This is the liquid inside of them packs, and it goes hard as a rock. When it's no more good, it goes hard as a rock.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you can re-moisten if you put a little bit of distilled water on that. It would rehydrate it, and it would work again.
Maybe I don't know.
I've never tried it. I don't want to take that chance.
You can dry out silica packs and reuse them for desiccants. And they say the same thing. They all say do not eat, but they're not toxic or anything. If you do eat one, it's just you could choke on it.
And it has a pH. It has a pH of 9. So I mean, really, from what I see here, there's really low toxic issues if someone was to get into it.
No, I don't think there'd be anything toxic in it.
No.
I mean, giant gum is in everything.
So then my thing is, what's leaching on your product? Is it the potassium citrate?
Probably.
And then how
it's potassium citrate?
Yeah, potassium citrate. Potassium citrate monohydrate, Marcel.
Yeah.
What does that one?
It's the potassium salt from citric acid.
Okay, and citric acid is vitamin C, right?
Right, so it's a hygroscopic crystalline powder, but it tastes salty.
It tastes salty. Okay.
So that may not be but it absorbs moisture from the air. What else is in this?
Zion gum, 2 to 5%. 2%.
What are you pronouncing the Zion gum? Spell it.
I will here in 2 seconds. Here, just give me 2 seconds here. Back into where I was. Zanthan.
Is it a Z or is it an X?
Oh, yeah. XAN, sorry. Yeah, X.
What else was in it?
Reverse osmosis water. 3 ingredients.
That's it?
Yeah, 3 ingredients. Water, potassium citrate, monohydrate, and that Xanthan gum or whatever, however you pronounce that.
Xanthan.
Yeah. That's it.
That's interesting. For it to maintain the moisture level.
That's really interesting, actually.
I mean, they're all safe products. Xanth gum is used for thickening agents in food.
And gum.
So
but
then what?
It's a stabilizer.
So then what would be? So then really, there's no harmful effects there.
Other than the dye on the packaging.
So why don't you rip one open and see how it goes there, Darcy?
Oh, no, but if it's leaching, it's got to leach through the packaging. And what's the dye in the packaging? Go lick a piece of cardboard and tell me if you like the taste.
Is the dye in the packaging must be like nature, like?
Oh, I'm hoping it would be food grade dye. They've got everything else as food grade, but like I say, go lick a piece of cardboard and tell me if you like that flavor. Because
no, thank you.
But that's the type of thing, right? That could be the flavor that people might be bitching about. Isn't from the products themselves. The products themselves, other than having that salty flavor,
it's for science,
from
buddy. Give it a lick, Darce.
Potassium.
Yeah, for science. Give it a lick. Yeah,
it's for science.
I already did my science experiment, and I ain't gonna tell the audience where it was, but I tried ripped one of Marcel's suppositories open, melted it down, and tried something, and it didn't work very well.
What'd you try?
It burned like a son of a bitch.
I can only imagine.
Oh, I'm telling you, my legs jumped for about 15 minutes.
Well, you used it as a topical?
At least you found out. No, he used it for something else.
Oh, okay.
I already know what you use it for, so we don't have to go into that. But
nope. But
at least we know it's not an option.
Scratch that off the list.
It's kind of like our friend that put cannabis oil into his eye to see if it might help regain his sight.
Yeah. Burn like that burns even worse.
So
tell me something.
Week.
Would that be something that you could use? There's a lot about going on now about filling up your belly button and then just letting it absorb in because it's the fastest into the membrane.
I'm finding out because I'm testing it.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you. What about something like that with your whatever he's trying to do?
Well, that's what I'm testing right now.
Okay.
It's being tested this weekend as we speak.
Oh, okay.
Because I read that, and then I went and started reading the science, and I like the science behind it, and it might be.
It sounds very sensual.
It doesn't have to be sensual, though.
Okay, so here's the question, though. When you fill up your belly button with whatever you're using, how long will it take for it to absorb?
That's what we're going to find out.
Okay.
Because it depends on what you've got for a carrier, because you still need something to cross through the skin.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to use like a coconut oil or something like that.
Well, right? Coconut oil will allow some products to go through.
Okay. But if you added, we were talking about this on Ira's show. If you add limonene and what's the other one?
If you make the proper extract, you're going to have limonene in it anyways.
Okay, but there's one that's really good for the rubs and stuff like that. Oh, crap.
I can't tell you. I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Starts with a V.
And then I'd have to kill all the listeners.
Okay. Well, that's a threat that we're not going to follow through.
You need transdermal cream. You need a transdermal cream.
Right. You need something that. And there's a number of different products that'll go through the skin. Some will do it faster. Aloe vera
will, right?
Not really. Aloe vera more protects the skin than anything.
Okay. So it's it's on top.
But there's some.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Marcel. Sorry.
There's some essential oils that will do it.
Okay. So what's
we'll have to get any
what am I thinking of here?
Yeah.
Belly buttons.
Lavender.
Yeah, maybe lavender.
I have found going through because we did a lot of there was a lot of topicals in the Karma Cup pack, and I noticed that a lot of them had lavender in them. And other acidy stuff because you need something with an acid in it to break through the skin, right?
Yeah, kind of.
He's not going to... Al, he's not going to tell you.
There's all kinds of things that break through the skin. DMSO goes through the skin instantly.
Okay.
And anything that it dissolves, it carries across the skin. But DMSO is not the most fun stuff to work with.
No, and it dries your skin out.
And it's extremely hard to mix.
And you got to moisturize every time after you're done using it.
Right. But it's awesome for eczema and things like that. The hard to treat or even severe arthritic pain because it goes directly across the skin.
Huh. We learn something new every day.
Yeah. It just has some side effects that some people don't mind and other people find rather irritating. As soon as you come in contact with it under your skin or whatever, even if you're wearing gloves, because it'll go through a pair of gloves, as soon as it comes into contact with your skin, you'll taste garlic.
Instantly garlic. That's the first thing I found. I took a great big blob. Marcel said, don't use it a lot. Oh, no, Darcy didn't listen. Took a great big blob and rubbed it on both of his legs, and instantly I tasted garlic and my breath stinked.
Yeah.
Well, garlic will absorb.
I bet you not even 2 minutes after I was starting to rub.
With me, if I'm mixing it, because I hate the taste, so if I'm mixing it, I wear a double pair of gloves, and I'll still end up touching a glove with it, and it'll go right through the glove, and I'll get a taste.
Wow.
So, I space out the mixing of that to long intervals. So I'll mix up one big batch, get it done, and then go for a month or two without having to do it again.
Cool. So, guys,
but it works. But it works really well.
Did you go answer my pop quiz?
Me?
Pop
no,
quiz?
not yet.
Oh,
where's your pop quiz?
I am rolling joints as I'm talking to you
want to do a
right now.
pop quiz, John?
been there, done that, already smoking it.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting till I'm done here, and then I'll do my usual routine, and yeah.
You got to buy a host so you can smoke in your house.
I know.
Where's your pop quiz, buddy?
I was looking. I'm going to look at one tomorrow.
Get an extra room that you can have for an office to do your show, and then you can sit and smoke in it.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Where are you looking?
Valleydale, and I'm gonna find out more about the one on Kent Road.
Wasn't the one you sent me the picture of?
The one on Kent Road that's that one that looked like it was all done over in pine on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them. Nice piece of property comes with it. Really nice piece.
I need a big property because of a big dog.
Yeah, and I could almost have cows.
No, don't. And don't have chickens, for fuck's sakes.
Oh, no.
You learned your lesson, right?
No.
I love it. Have you had
chickens? Chickens, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also must love rats.
Yeah, but...
Because you can't have one without the other.
Really?
You can. It's just you got to do things proper.
They like...
No, you'll still have rats.
Don't they?
And I didn't do things proper the first time.
They like.
There's no proper way to raise chickens without having rats.
But what's the reason for that? Because they like droppings and the stuff that comes from the chicken?
And all the seeds.
Oh, they waste a lot of food.
Oh.
Okay. Chickens throw food when they eat, and rats love that food.
Okay.
Yeah, Marcel came to Marcel seen the ones I used to have.
My dog does that for popcorn.
Yeah.
My dog does that for popcorn.
She likes popcorn.
I mean, if you're not a chicken farm raising chickens for eggs to sell as an income, don't fucking raise chickens.
Yeah, huh?
Because really all you're doing is just feeding
How
the rat
many eggs
population.
do you get from one chicken?
One.
Well, one egg a day.
That's all?
Yeah.
One. Oh, yeah.
One a day.
A day.
Wow. I thought there was multiple.
Oh.
So you think, though, if you get $4 for a dozen eggs, figure out 300 eggs a year, because they don't lay when they molt.
So do they lay eggs on Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends if they're molting. But the thing is you've got to go out every day and get that egg.
Yes, even in the winter.
Even in the winter, because you still got to go feed them.
They'll freeze quick.
Yeah.
You can still eat them, but they'll freeze.
Yeah. No, I don't want to eat frozen eggs.
Doesn't really change the flavor of the egg, but it does change the texture a bit.
Yeah.
It makes it more rubbery.
Yeah.
Frozen eggs, yuck.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's fine for baking and things like that.
I'm going to go home soon and get baked.
Guess what? You go home and get baked, Al.
Yeah, buddy.
I used that dipstick earlier. I think I'm still baked.
Do we want to do any shout-outs or anything other than Hope? If you need help relieving yourself of opiates, let me know.
Yeah. Go get some Hope.
Come in Thursdays. Ira's going to get involved. Ira Price. Jack loves it. So we're going to give it a little push and see if we can't get some attention and help some people. Seriously, help some people. Right? If I can't sell them weed, I'm going to make sure that they get it so that they can relieve their suffering from opiates. You know, Ira told me 2 weeks ago on his show, we were talking about the opiate crisis in Canada. Hamilton has the worst opiate crisis in the fucking world right now.
Way to go, Hamilton.
Yeah, way to go, Hamilton. Yeah.
No, way to go.
Thank you, steel industry.
Way to go, Hamilton doctors, for pushing opioids and not cannabis.
I had a guy.
Thank you to the steel industry.
There's a regular guy who comes in. I won't even say his name. He's left a couple of times in tears because nobody will help him. He went to his doctor today, And his doctor, he said he was in so much pain, he's walking like a fucking 60-year-old man, hunched over, like me. Okay? And he doesn't want that. And his doctor says, so when are you going to try pain management? And they want to send him. You remember a few years ago, I used to talk about Kelly's injections that she used to go and get, Marcel?
Yeah.
22 shots a week. That's what they want him to do. And I have asked him to postpone that and try microdosing with a Shatterizer instead, to see if he can cope with that instead of having to go through. You get 3 days before, while you're waiting for your shots, in fucking misery. Then you get your shots. You suffer overnight because it hurts. Okay, you're getting epidurals, you're getting this, you're getting that. And then you've got 3 days of maybe pain-free. And then you're back at it again. It just does not seem worth it. I've had 2 very close friends go through that. And I watched them. Did you go through that, Darcy?
I had cortisone shots in my pectoral muscle.
That's exactly what Kelly was getting.
And I'll tell you right now, ever since I had them shots, I always get little sharp pains in my chest, like right at the injection site where it was.
And they don't last. Like she did it for 3-4 years, and it doesn't last. It got to the point where she was just going because that was her regimen, and if she didn't go, the pain was worse. But it didn't. After a while, it didn't do much of anything, and they tell you that at the beginning too, do they not?
Oh yeah.
This might not last very long.
Yep.
So we used to sit. I would take her, and we used to sit in the lobby. And while she was in getting her shots, I was out in the lobby talking to people about cannabis. And the doctor used to come out from behind the curtain and go, "Shh." None of that here. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's wrap this up. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
You never answered my survey.
I'm sorry.
You shared it, but you never answered it.
What's the question? Ask me the question. Hold on 1 sec. You're falling apart here. Okay, ask me the question, and I'll answer it right here.
You have to answer. You can read the question where you're going to answer it.
Okay. I did share it, didn't I?
Yeah, you shared it, but that was it.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. I'll find it.
Darcy can go look at it too.
All right. So the questions are, would you change your mind about all LPs? And would this be one you might deal with? And you're talking about not one specific, right?
No. You have to read the whole thing.
I am. There's a lot of bitching about licensed producers, whether it is chemically poisoned, grown by inexperienced growers, overpriced, poor packaging, etc. Whatever the reason, if you are a long-time cannabis user, for obvious reasons, you would bitch about these organizations. But, you want to read the rest?
If a group of long-time licensed medical patients gathered some of the country's top medicinal growers, breeders, and processors to come together to form an LP designed for the medical market, providing the same products they themselves use with pricing designed for limited patient income, would you change your mind about LPs, and would this be one you might deal with?
Yes.
Because, for valid reason, there's a lot of bitching about LPs.
You know what? I have said quite publicly that a patient-run, patient-controlled LP, I would sign up for in a second. I'm waiting.
Yeah, you have one. There's one coming on.
I'm waiting. Yeah.
So am I.
So, if a company like that does it right, and turns their back on rec, but make sure that patients get what they need first so that there isn't a shortage.
Yeah.
I'm for it. I don't care what anybody says. I typically do not support LPs, but a patient-run LP is going back like it was when I started this 10
Al,
12 years ago.
It's called going back to the roots, going back to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
It's what needs to happen in this industry, man. This big industry, big LP. It's fine if you want to smoke mediocre product, and I don't care. I don't care if people hear me say that or not. It's mediocre product. I've heard it time and time again from more and more and more
patients. I have
patients.
to admit, I have not tried, but for a couple of puffs, any LP weed. But I would be happy to try it if somebody came into the lounge and shared. I will not walk into an OCS store. I will not do it. Period. I would... Okay. John said he would bring me some next week. Let me tell you why I will not. Well, I've looked at the website. I've looked at what they have to offer. Some of the bud doesn't look so bad. But here's my issue. I am not even though I'm not a novice smoker, when it comes to strains, I like a bud tender's opinion. I like to know, hey, I tried this. I know what your elements are. Let's sit down and see if maybe this. Try some. And then walk away with that product because it worked. You know what I mean? You don't get that, unfortunately, unless Buddy down the road is growing a specific strain that you like. You don't get that from Buddy down the road. You get that from a fucking dispensary that we're not allowed to have. Medical dispensary. You know? There was something said today about how a bud tender can, at an OCS legal store, is allowed to approach and offer information. Not much.
But they can offer some information?
John said he's doing the course, so maybe when he gets involved in it, we'll have a chat about that on the air. Right? Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, and is that the one at Niagara? So, in other words, a bud tender licensing thing. Just like a smart card. They're doing the same thing. It's just a smart card. Yeah. And bring the paperwork in so I can see it. I'm interested in that. It might be something I might go to, just to say I did, and, you know, knowledge is key, right? If we're going to sit here and we're going to educate people properly, I want to be educated properly. I don't retain shit like that, unfortunately, because of my dyslexia.
I do.
But yeah, you do. Yeah. So is this an online course, John? So is it? Oh, really? Is it video? Is it? All right. So how about in a couple of weeks, we'll sit down and we'll do it. Do it on the air. Do you think they would mind? We've done that before. I've done a lot of quizzes and questionnaires on the air before. So, yeah, let's do that. That's exciting. Yeah, do it and then help me through it. Yeah, that'll be not answer the questions for me or anything. That would be wrong, but. So you're going to be proud of me, Marcel and Darcy. During the conversation with Ira, Dr. Ira Price, I co-host his Higher Estate on Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. So he tried to throw me a loop and asked me what CBD was. And I piped up and said, cannabidiol. And he went, Al, that's right. I don't think he was expecting me to know that because nobody else did. But I have a good time with Ira on his show because it's like this is the guy who the doctors call to say, hey, I need some updates on my education on cannabis. You know? So we're going to be doing some broadcasting from around the events and stuff like that. But I was going to go to the Indigenous Cup because I couldn't go last year. But I can't go this year now. I have fucking Who tickets.
Ooh.
The Who? Ooh. Yes, we're going to go see the Who too.
No, you need to go. You need to save your money.
You got that, did you, John? The
You need to
Who
stay.
two.
You need to-
Daltrey and Townsend. There's only 2 left.
They'd be awesome to see.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, you see, I'm giving up. In Ganjahnistas, there is the Indigenous Cup, and we are going to be there broadcasting, but I'm going to have to stay home because I've got a concert to go to. And then, but also that weekend is Hempfest here in Hamilton, so I'm going to be doing that as well. So it's going to be a busy weekend going back and forth from Toronto to Hamilton with me, I think. Yeah, there's that.
I was going to be a busy fella.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm looking. I missed going to see Rod Stewart last year to go and see the Headstones, and I was okay with that because the Headstones rule. It was awesome. You know. Did you guys fall down?
No.
No.
No, not at all. I was listening to you. I'd like to go on and have a chat with Dr. Ira sometime.
Well, when you're here, I'm going to make sure that we do a show with him.
Cool.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Do you guys know when you're coming yet?
No.
Okay.
My Airbnb is booked.
You know, we have an Airbnb here now you can use.
A little far from Toronto, though.
Only an hour, and I'm back and forth, so I can bring you.
Yeah, I don't. I think.
No, here's the issue, though. You wouldn't be able to get upstairs, buddy. Unfortunately, unfortunately, the Airbnb is not wheelchair friendly. Unfortunately, not. But
Paula, what the hell?
Well, there's nothing we can do if it's on the second and third floor, buddy.
True enough.
You know, I mean, I'd be happy to put you on my back and carry you up.
Yeah, but then you might have more back problems when you're done.
You know what? You'd probably be able to do that for me quicker than I could do that for you, to be honest with you. This guy rolls around in a hilly, long grass camping site faster than I can walk. Okay? Like,
he goes hunting and fishing in his wheelchair, too.
That's what I mean. Like, this guy, I mean, he's a sports fanatic. And he's all in a chair, buddy. Yep. Yep. Master grower to boot.
I get around.
Yep, he gets around.
Almost an OG.
Almost an OG. What does OG stand for now?
Original grower.
Original grower.
That's what it's always stood for. It's basically growers with over 20 years experience.
Okay. All right, on that note, I'm going to go home and cough.
You go home and cough.
And we'll say goodnight. Thanks for listening. We'll be here next week.
And we'll
Peace out, everybody.
Ooh, next week is the 19th. Maybe we won't be here.
We'll do an early 420 special.
No, I think what we might do. What are you guys doing on 420?
Celebrating a birthday.
Oh, okay. We've been doing 420. We usually do every time zone, eh? We've done that for a few years in a row where we just sit there and get baked. It's kind of like
this year it's
we do
an
that
18th.
for New Year's too.
This year it's an 18th birthday, so I've been told that I can't.
Which one's 18?
I'm Lily, the youngest.
Oh well, happy birthday up then, Lily.
Yeah, that's her birthday, 420, and she come to me one day a few
Lily,
years ago.
we were sitting there hanging out.
Yeah. She came to me one day and she said, "You sure do have a lot of friends that have their birthday on the same day that I do." And I'm thinking
her birthday is on 420?
Yeah. And I said, they don't all have their birthdays on 420. They just wish they did.
I have put our start date of the show as 4/20/2008 because that's when we started. But it was actually 2007, I think.
I think it was.
Yeah. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Oh,
Some people ask me why I keep doing
5 years.
Are you making money? No. Why do you keep doing it? Because if I can help one fucking person stop the pain that I feel every day, or somebody with MS because of what Marcel says, or somebody who's a quadriplegic. You're not a quad. You're what do they call
it?
Paraplegic.
I'm incomplete.
He could go in the Special Olympics.
Well, you know what? We have a gentleman who comes in who's a very, very rare regular. He comes in every day, Spencer, and he's quad. He has movement in one hand, and by upping his cannabis intake, he can actually smoke a joint on his own. With some help, we've come up with like a telescopic hand, right? And he moves his hand around now. He has better dexterity with it, and he can reach up and open up a pocket sometimes. You guys have been there, right? When you can't do something that you've grown up doing, it's totally different than being born without that ability.
Oh, definitely.
I used to golf every week with a guy with one arm, and I used to have to work my ass off not to let him beat me, because he was phenomenal with one arm playing golf. But he was a phenomenal golfer before he lost his arm.
Well, live and adapt.
Yep.
And on that note, go ahead. You weren't done?
No. I was just going to say he definitely did it. And on that note, let's get the hell out of here.
So did you guys, Marcel. We're not going to get into your story now, either of yours, but we will, and because they're interesting stories, because it's a story of overcoming.
I want to go play golf this summer because it's something that I honestly thought I'd never be able to do again.
So we'll play golf here. Come and play here. I like golf. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but we'll get really baked and go play putt-putt.
I want to take Darcy golfing. Because I got a funny feeling.
They got golf chairs.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I used to golf as a kid. My dad used to take us to Fran Resort, which is a huge resort here in Ontario, a family resort. And I used to play golf in the tournaments and as a kid, and I won a couple. I never became a good golfer, though. Like I like to play pool, but I can't fucking play pool,
I've worked for a company that if I didn't have at least 1 or 2 golf outings per week on my expense report, I'd get hauled into the office. I was expected to go take customers golfing. So within 3 years of playing, I was down to a 6 handicap because I was playing probably 4 or 5 times a week, and it was all paid for. It was awesome.
So I'm going to run this thing so we can say bye-bye now.
Yeah, you say bye-bye.
I just want to say thank you to Tim Barnhart and his Legacy 420 for sponsoring us. And we'll see you next week.
And the people at Shatterizer, we like them too.
Yes. Well, I kind of put Matt on the spot there, but hey, he's my buddy. Yep. I'm allowed to do that.
Cool.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right. We'll talk to you.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science. Literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Tyendinaga. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.